Hello everybody, this is Money Mom. Welcome back to the channel. Tuesday night, personal growth. I listened to a song the other day that I felt like inspired me to do this video, and it is very timely in my life. I want to get real with you guys. You know, I'm really wanting to become more and more vulnerable with you, tell you some of the struggles in my life. Even though it's kind of embarrassing to talk about them, it's the only way that I feel like I'm going to grow. Let me tell you the song I heard. It was called Do It Anyway. There's also a prayer to this song, and you probably have heard it. Basically, it's, sum it up in a nutshell with the song, it's, hey, even if you don't feel like doing the right thing, do it anyway. Well, you could use this in your life. Basically, what do it anyway is we all make excuses, we all enable ourselves, and to me, do it anyway is stepping outside your comfort zone. They're your regular schedule. So let's just take somebody that goes to work every day, comes home, and when they get home, they sit in front of the TV every night, munch on chips, and then they go to bed. They don't get up and go to exercise classes. They just are tired after they come home after being in traffic. Then they get up and they go to work and they do the same thing. They don't really aspire for more. And if they're okay with that, that's fine. But we're going to have to change something if we want to make a difference in our life. And so I feel like in my life, and I feel friends have done this to me too in different areas, is I make excuses and I enable myself. And I notice some of my friends will even enable me because they're wanting to be supportive of me, okay? And I'm going to give you one example of an area where I have been making so many excuses in my life. And no, it's not about overeating this time, even though I've talked about that subject a lot. This time, and I'll just briefly tell you, it is my sleep schedule, which today I thought of that song, Do It Anyway, and I'm on a new sleep schedule now. Basically, you guys know I work from home, I schedule mystery shopping, I do YouTube. Because of that, sometimes I feel like there can be some late nights. Well, I've made an excuse about that, and I am now going to be getting up earlier and going to bed earlier. I just started it today. To be honest, it's a little tough because I didn't get as much sleep, because it's going to be a challenge to kind of get it rolling to where I go to bed on time and then get up on time. But I'm doing that today because what I was doing is I was going to bed really late, like maybe 3, 4 o'clock, getting up about 11, 11:30. This is just average. And then half my day was gone and I felt like I was in a funk all day. And to be honest, it kind of made me feel a little bit melancholy. And I know when I used to have my schedule where I got up at 8 and went to bed by midnight, I felt really good. And it was just a really good fit for me. Right now, I'm going to bed at 1 a.m. and getting up at 9. I'm eventually going to get to the 8 to midnight. But I was giving all these excuses to myself, like, well, I need to check my visit builders and help my mystery shoppers. Well, I need to do some things on YouTube. Guess what? I can give excuses all day long, enable myself all day long, but I really feel like me getting a better, more restorative sleep and getting a better sleep schedule is good for me. There's areas in our life that I feel like we could do it anyway. Whether it's getting up early to go exercise, whether it's doing some projects around the house that need to be done. There's a lot of things that we don't feel like doing. I'm first to admit that. There's a lot of times once I'm home, I don't feel like going out to do things. But I know in order for us to grow as people, we have to step outside our comfort zone and do things. One other thing where I feel like I don't like to do is, I think I've shared this with you guys before, I don't like confrontation. I avoid any kind of conflict, so I kind of just shove things under the rug. Part of doing it anyway might be having a difficult conversation with somebody that you don't want to have instead of avoiding that situation. Doing it anyway could be anything. It could be bettering yourself in a career. It could be health related. It could be personal related. It could be just doing the right thing. If someone's mistreating you at work, being kind anyway, turning the other cheek. It could be anything that you want it to be. But before signing off, I want to ask you guys, are there areas in your life where you feel like you've become complacent and you make excuses for yourself and you enable yourself and others enable you also, that you feel like you'd kind of like to change, but to be honest, you'd feel kind of too lazy to go about doing it because you're kind of comfortable in how you're doing things now? I'd like to hear about it below because this could be a really good conversation. I'm starting with just one thing right now, which is my sleep schedule. Are there any areas that you'd like to share below? Any kind of encouraging words you have? I really appreciate you guys listening, and as always, I love you. Bye-bye.